Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at the Porsche Taycan GTS. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Porsche Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Taycan. This particular one is still available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently, and also this Taycan as well. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Let's start things off with the EV specs. We have a dual electric motor paired to a 93.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. This produces 590 horsepower and it gives the Taycan GTS about 246 miles of driving range. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now we're actually going to start here with the key. You've got the Porsche key, which looks like a car, which is pretty cool. But we've got the front trunk, which we're going to go into next, but you can also open up the rear trunk as well. Ooh, so here is the front trunk. It's actually a little bit smaller than what you have in like the Cayman and the 911, but it's still really practical overall. Now taking a look at the hood, first off, I love this blue paint. It really pops, but you guys can see the sharp body lines. And then look at the headlight design, and then I love this right here off to the side. But you guys can see all about aerodynamic efficiency here at the front. And putting it all together, let me guys think about the looks here with the GTS. Now popping on the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 265 35 21 in the front and then 305 30 21 in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels completely blacked out, you got the red brake caliper, which again just goes with the sporty theme. You notice we have a charging port here. You just have to kind of click that and then you can pull it open. We do have fast charging here at the Taycan. There is a charging port on the other side as well, but it's not a fast charger. And then here's your full side view with the Taycan. The contrast with the blue and the black wheels and the red brake caliper. And then you have this like trim piece here at the bottom that says GTS. That's cool. Now popping into the trunk, you guys can see we've got our charging cable here in the back. And it's pretty spacious back here, which is cool. And you also have a 12 volt here in the back as well. But I think my favorite part is the fact that I can just press a button and that'll close it all up. I love the sleek design back here. And then also the light bar has the Porsche logo in it, and then Taycan GTS down below, and then we got parking sensors here at the bottom. But wrapping things up, let me know you guys think about the overall design here on the GTS, but I think they did a really good job. Inside you can see we've got this two-tone interior, which I think looks really sharp, and I like how this goes all the way to the door handle, kind of another cool piece. And then taking a look at the seats, you guys can see perforated all down the center portion, matches the coloration here on the door panel. Now legroom back here is really good. We also have some vent action here in the center, heated seats down below. And by the way, these seats are actually really comfortable. And then headroom, it slopes a little bit, but it's still pretty good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again, two-tone with the coloration. We've got all of our window controls right here, mirror adjustments. The mirrors do power fold in. We also have memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors too. And then look at the front seat, notice how it's perforated all down the center portion. All of our adjustments here on the side, which there's like 2 million of them. Taycan GTS, and then look at the pedals. Those are really cool looking. And then I like this trim here. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see really nice trim all around. We do have some practical controls here on the steering wheel. They have kind of like a cool floating design. Drive mode select on the steering wheel as well. And then you guys can see we also have the regular little stalks in the back. Now I've got this giant gauge cluster here with the Taycan. You guys can see normal information there in the center, like how fast you're going and everything. But then notice we've got this little like screen here on the side. So this is for the lights and responds really well. And the other side, you actually have controls for the car to raise and lower it, for the suspension stability control and all of that. So pretty futuristic, right? We also have really nice trim here on the dash, and you guys can see clock front and center. Yeah, I really like the overall design of that. And then in reverse, you guys can see we've got this full 360 camera system. You can kind of zoom in there, which is interesting. But anyways, really good resolution with the camera system, and nice that it's got a 360. As for the rest of the infotainment system itself, you guys can see that you've got this like shortcut bar here on the side that actually responds really well. It's easy to use. It has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with it. So yeah, I'd say they did a great job with that. Now down below we have our secondary screen, which is kind of more car functions, if that makes sense. Just as easy to use, but you do have to kind of press more because this has like haptic. So this is just normal touch. This is like haptic touch where you kind of have to press in. So a little bit different, but I think pretty cool. Now we do have some storage underneath the screen, if you guys are wondering. Kind of zoom out. There you go. Got some cup holder action here with the Taycan, and then I like this trim piece that goes across. It just has a nice kind of like overall look to it. But anyways, good storage space inside. Kind of a weird shape though, I guess, also. And then speaking of storage, glove box lined with felt, also pretty good storage. And then the lighting's not great, but you guys can see with the pillars, and then that continues under the headliner, so really nice trim here at the top. Then we have a glass roof as well. Now here's our window sticker for the Taycan GTS. You guys can see all the options this has. This is called Neptune Blue, by the way. Total MSRP $157,900, and let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, through the rest of the rear, and shifter on this is interesting. But let us set off and see what GTS means when it is attached to a Taycan. So first off, pretty comfortable so far, it seems like. So I think that's a big plus. Love the feeling of the steering wheel. Porsche does such a good job with the tactile feel of their cars. Yeah, suspension's comfortable for a GTS, that's for sure. Like, this road's really bumpy. And it just, yeah, it does really good. Now, seats are pretty comfortable too. You can tell they are sportier, kind of with the overall setup. I'm not sure what that person's doing. They are sportier with the overall setup, but I mean, I think it's pretty comfortable. Wow, so it says that I'm going to be consuming almost 90 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. That's interesting. Very interesting. But anyways, we got this in the normal mode. We'll put it into the sport plus mode. Got some sounds happening too. Damper's gonna get more aggressive as well in this setting. Does like harder with the regen too, which is kind of interesting. Sounds like a spaceship. So weird, but I like it. I mean, it does look kind of like a spaceship, so I guess it makes sense. Yeah, it's so crazy. So spaceship-like. Anyways, we are going to get a little acceleration here with the GTS. That's quick. That's 590 horsepower for you. It's pretty crazy. Again, the spaceship sounds so cool. But man, it just like most electric cars, it punches. So to sum things up, yep, they've GTS-ified. Is that a word? GTS-ified the Taycan. So it's got a sportier look. Still has the nice Taycan interior. Now I can't really say that it drives sportier necessarily. It's still, because the Taycan just inherently, sorry, excuse me, is a Porsche, so it already kind of feels sporty. I think the biggest benefit of this is, silly as it sounds, is just the GTS looks. If you like the GTS style. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, it's a Taycan. They drive well, so let me know your thoughts.